Hey everyone! Welcome to In the Garden with Danica. If you follow me from my Instagram page, thank you so much and welcome to my YouTube channel. Honestly, I have been putting off making this introduction video just because getting in front of the camera and talking is very nerve-wracking for me. But better late than never, so I figured I'd give it a shot. My goal with the YouTube channel is to be able to offer different content and longer content than I do on Instagram. And if you are new here, my name is Danica, and I am so happy to have you join me on my YouTube journey. So I figured I'd take an opportunity to sit down, tell you a little bit about myself, and share what you can expect to see on my channel. Today I am going to be filling up this seed organizing box. I've seen many other people use it and I saw it and I was like, I have to have it, and I'll show you why, because the way I'm currently storing my seeds is not a good option. Right now we are out in my shop. It is 9 o'clock at night. My daughter is asleep, my husband's resting, and my baby chicks in the corner are making a lot of noise and are very distracting. But like I said, I've been putting this video off and I've been wanting to organize my seeds, so I figured I'd make a video at the same time. So I'm gonna move the camera around so you can see what I'm doing. So don't mind my outfit. Like I said, it's 9 o'clock at night. I am in my comfy clothes. But this is my current seed storage. It doesn't work very well. There's no protection from the seeds getting wet or protection from sunlight. I don't open my seeds very conveniently. I tend to rip the top off of them, which I need to be better about, but I figured by putting them in these little photo storage cases, they would stay together, and if they happen to fall out, that's okay because they're pretty contained. So this case comes with 16 of these small 4x6. They're intended to be photo storage cases, but they work perfect for seed saving. So what I'm going to do is set this aside. I found 5 packets of seeds in my car that I had either been gifted or bought and never brought inside, some of which I need to actually start. We're getting a little late. I am in Eastern Washington, zone 6B. So my last frost date is not until well after March 24th. And actually last year on June 16th, we had a pretty hard freeze where I had to go and cover all of my plants with shower curtains, linens, pillowcases, anything I had really. So while I am a little late starting some of these seeds, I do have some time before they can even go outside. In years past, I have grown just to save seed, because before we moved to this house, we were living in an apartment and I barely had enough room to grow in pots. So if I could just save the seed to replant next year for the joy of growing, I would. But we've been in our new house for about a year now. This will be my second growing season here. If you'd like to see what I grew last year, go check out my Instagram page. I shared a lot about like the seed starting process and then also growing and harvesting. There's a lot of things I'm going to do different this year. One being actually organizing my seeds so I know what I have, so I can stop buying duplicates. A good example of that is the amount of pea seeds that I have. I have 5 packets of peas from the store, and then I have this huge bag of peas that I grew in 2021, so last year. Sorry, this is the only chair that we have out here in the shop, and if I were to do this inside the house, I'd wake my daughter up, and that would not be fun for any of us. Okay, great example of why I need to put these in a different storage solution is there's loose seeds in the bottom of this Ziploc bag. They look an awful lot like cabbage seeds, and they are. So I've already started sharing on my Instagram page about what I've been doing to prep for this year's garden. There's a lot that I haven't shared just because I knew I wanted to be able to share on YouTube, so I held off. But you'll see here shortly some of the prep work that I've done in the garden. And then I'll also show all the started seeds and what varieties I'm growing this year. So in the spring and summer, my main focus is in the garden. It's beautiful out, the sun is shining, and I love growing food. So all of my other hobbies are put on hold at that time. In the winter, you can expect to see some quilting videos, home improvement projects, DIY, crafting stuff mostly. This summer, we're also renovating our kitchen, which is a huge undertaking that I didn't realize was going to be so big, but I'm hoping to share some of that with you guys since we're going to be doing a lot of it ourselves. Yeah, if you really only like the gardening stuff, stick around in the summer and, take the winter off from me. And if you're interested in both quilting, sewing, and gardening, then you can stick around all year. I mentioned that my chicks were making noise. I do have a small chicken coop and 10 chickens. We do live in the city, in a neighborhood, on a very small property. So my chickens have reign of most of the yard. Again, you can get a little sneak peek on my Instagram page of my chickens. I just got 3 new chicks probably 6-7 weeks ago. Maybe not even that long. Probably about 5 or 6 weeks ago. So they're still here in the shop. We had snow last week and freezing temps for the next couple weeks, so they're not going outside anytime soon. All right, so this is a lot more intensive than I thought it was going to be, so I'm going to sort everything out, and then I will come back and we'll go over what I got. So now that I've got these sorted, I'm gonna grab a couple of these containers and get started. We'll start with peppers here because that's probably what I have the most of. Peppers did really good in our area last year, and everyone in my family really likes peppers. So we were able to feed our family as well as neighbors and friends. So I'm growing a lot of new varieties this year. We had 114-degree weather last summer, and that's why the peppers did so well. Our summers are always hot, upper 90s, well into the 100s, and peppers really like heat. So this is why I need to organize. I have 2 California Wonder sweet bell peppers. These seeds aren't labeled, but I do know that these are Black Beauty bell pepper seeds that I collected last year. I do need to plant some of those. I have yet to do that. I am doing here it is, a canary bell pepper, which is a bright yellow, almost orange bell pepper. I've got a Hungarian wax. I have never had a wax pepper, so I tend to not grow things that I haven't had before, at least either from someone locally or a grocery store, because I try not to grow anything I don't like. Some of these are culinary peppers and others are for eating. Well, put that down. I have 4 different types of jalapenos that I'm doing this year. I've got 2 different brands of early jalapenos, so I am growing both of them to see if there's a difference in them. And from Baker Creek, I've got Craig's Grande Jalapeno and the Nadapeño, which is all of the jalapeno flavor and no spice, which I tend to be I don't do well with spice. I like it, but my mouth doesn't like it. So I'm hoping the jalapenos will be good for those in my family who are like me, who don't really want the spice. I did get a pimento pepper. It's apparently a sweet pepper. It is the mildest pimento type pepper. So I'm hoping that'll be a nice mix between a bell and a light spice. And then I am doing serranos and cayenne. I am hoping to make my own seasonings with these, but also to cook with. I think for now, I think I have enough of these containers to sort them by sweet and hot pepper. So I'm going to pull my 3 bell peppers. There we go. My 3 bell peppers and pimento pepper. 4 bell peppers are going to go in one container. And I am going to borrow my mom's label maker so that I can label these. And the labels come off really easy, so if next year I don't have that many of a seed variety and I can combine them, or I need to make another container, I can do so. But that way I don't get them confused. And then all of my hot peppers will go here in another container. We are also doing all of our peppers, majority of our peppers in pots this year. My husband has a very different idea of how a garden should look. He likes very nice, clean, tidy beds, and I just want to throw everything in one bed. For example, last year in one garden bed, I grew a whole row of sunflowers in the back. I had a ginormous winter gourd. I mean, this thing was huge. And that was in the corner of the bed. There was 3 or 4 tomatoes, 4 or 5 peppers. I had carrots in there, onions in there. It just took over. And like, I don't think the carrots produced because they were just kind of shoved in there. They did get a lot of light. The tomatoes flopped over. They wouldn't stay up on a trellis. I admit it was a hot mess, but that's how I like my garden to look. Grabbing a few more of these. In this container here, I put Rutabaga and Jicama. These were seeds that I got from our local library. They do a seed library every year, and unfortunately those ones have too long of a growing season for where we're at. Our growing season is maybe 110 days, so I have to start things quite early to be able to get a harvest out of anything with a long growing season. These are all my onions. I had more, but I planted most of them out already. We'll get the peas taken care of. My plan for this year is I am going to be attending a couple seed swaps with some local garden groups. And I'm going to bring some of these seeds that maybe someone has a greenhouse around here and they want to grow some crops that take longer to mature. And then, like with these peas, I don't need this many varieties of peas. There is a couple elementary schools around here that have gardens, and I know they have been requesting seeds, so I'm going to try to not break this. I'm going to try to get some of these seeds dropped off to them this week. But now that I know what I have, I know what I can get rid of. All right. The next thing I have a lot of here are squashes and gourds. Zucchini does really well out here, so I've got 3 or 4 different types of zucchini. Some are homegrown that have been saved. Spaghetti squash, winter squash, golden Hubbard, and pumpkins. I don't have enough room to do squash here on my property, but I do plan on assisting on a couple other gardens this year. So hopefully I can find room for some of those. This is one of the only melons I have. It's a banana melon. It was a free seed from MI Gardener. Only 85 days to maturity, so I am going to start a few of these, or I probably have already started a few of them. That's well within my growing season to be able to grow. And then beans. I'm kind of conflicted on beans this year. I always grow a cranberry bean. I've got some of the seeds right here. They are akin to a pinto bean, but I don't have enough space to grow enough to be able to preserve them or to set them up for dried beans. So I always get this kind of in-between harvest where I have too many to plant for the next year, but not enough to actually make a meal out of. So I'm not sure if I'm going to grow those this year. Definitely going to grow some Blue Lake Bush, and then I think I've got a Bountiful bush bean. I'm also growing a Chinese green noodle bean from Baker Creek. I am very excited about that, and I have put up a very specific trellis just for these long beans. So I will have to show you guys that. These homegrown seeds, I need to separate. This bag is full of bush beans, cranberry beans, and dill seed. I grew mammoth dill one year and I thought I needed a whole bed of it, and I did not realize how prolific Long Island mammoth dill is. So I need to figure out what to do with these, and I probably need to invest in some better bags. I do have paper seed packets that I use to package up my own seeds for sale and to give to friends and neighbors. I might just need to take the time to portion these out and package them up. All right, let me get these sorted out. Okay, so these are my flower seeds here. This does not include the couple hundred purple sunflower seeds I have down here in a bag. Something cool I found from Baker Creek this year was stevia. We are really trying to stay away from added sugars, especially in drinks. But our hope is if we grow enough stevia this year, we can preserve it and be able to sweeten our own teas and drinks over the summer and, you know, into winter. I don't have very many herbs. That is on my list of things to get this year. And then I've got cabbage and kohlrabi. All right, you thought that was all. So I placed a second order with Baker Creek after my first order this year, so plant labels. Baker Creek is super affordable. You know, compared to some of the box stores where you're going to pay $2.99, sometimes even $3.99 for hybrid seeds, you can get quality heirlooms or very different cool varieties from a company like Baker Creek, MI Gardener, Johnny Seeds, something like that. The most I paid for a packet of seeds was $5, and that was for the stevia and loofah gourds. Everything else very reasonably priced. I am not sure if I have a long enough growing season for gourds here, but how cool would it be if I could gift people their own sponge? This is something I really hope will grow, and I've also dedicated its own trellis in the garden. I got a cactus mix. Maybe if it starts, I'll have some new houseplants. I did get a ground cherry. These are kind of all unconventional seeds. More stevia, because it comes with a minimum of 15 seeds, and the seeds are ridiculously small. So I'm not sure if any have even sprouted yet. I do need to go look at that. I got a free poppy. I did get the chocolate cherry sunflower seeds because they're just gorgeous. And then this was a request from my mom for the garden that we're putting in at her house, is glass gem corn. And then I had a bag of just yellow sweet corn that we'll be interplanting with that. We are just getting into spring. Like I said, we had snow recently, so I don't doubt that when the plant sales start up and I have to go hit up the local nurseries for stuff, I always find something to get there. I'm sure I will get more seeds to where these containers will not be empty. My other flower one is kind of full, so I'll put those in there. And my stevia can get added into the herbs. All right. I don't know what my chicks are doing over there. I'll show you, but they're being awfully noisy for 10 o'clock at night. All right. Would you look at that? I think that's absolutely fantastic compared to what I started with. I do have a whole bunch of homegrown seeds that I am going to need to package up, and then I can put them into their respective containers. And I feel really good about this. A really good start to this year's growing season. All right, so that is it for today. Thank you so much for checking out my channel. I'll see you guys next time.